So greetings from here in Pennsylvania once again, and it's time to do another episode in our Union Canal series. And in the last video we did that cool section where we got to see the remains of the aqueduct that went across the Sotara Creek here. We're kind of just, right, I'm currently on Schoolhouse Road. Just behind me is Jonestown Road, which is west of Jonestown and Ono, if you're familiar with the area. And just over here is that neck that the Sotara Creek made, and the canal kind of cut across it. But I showed that in the last video. So the Sotara Creek is down that way along the tree line, and the aqueduct is right down there somewhere. But unfortunately, I do not get permission for this property right here, and the Lock 21 is right down in there somewhere. So we'll have to let that one go. But we're going to go ahead and drive down Schoolhouse Road for a bit. The canal will, the road kind of makes a turn, the canal kind of meets up with it and goes alongside it. So if I can find a place to pull over and film part of that section, I will. We'll see what happens. This is not a busy road. But anyway, I have two other properties I have permission for this morning. Today's a Saturday morning, July 1st actually. One's a larger property that gave me permission, so I'm not sure if let me walk on my own or if they're going to kind of take me along themselves like some of the other people did, in the last video over there. That guy took us in his old SUV, we were driving right through the canal and stuff. So we'll see what happens. And then I have a smaller property adjoining that one that I get to explore a little bit. There's a very small chance that we'll see Lock 22 today. I did not get permission for that property, but the one property owner knows the guy, so fingers crossed. Maybe I'm not gonna hold out too much hope for that. But anyway, I'm gonna quit yapping and let's get on with this. Yes, this is the property where Lock 21 was located. You can almost see where it was back there, but yes, so the canal is going to come right alongside the road here. It's actually just right down in there. Oh yeah, there's really no place to pull over here though. You get down in there, and if you can see where those cows are, that's the towpath in there. Alright. Then there's some houses up here. It gets kind of cut off. Alright, and the road veers away. Yeah, so I could kind of see where Lock 21 was from the road. However, it was right next to their house and stuff. Since I didn't have permission to be on their property, I didn't necessarily want to film their property either from the road. But anyway, I think I'm at the right spot here. Just waiting for the property owners to show up. So here's gated road. I think I'm at the right spot. We'll see. I told them they said to be here at 9 o'clock, so we'll see.
You're not recording, are you?
Oh, it's fine.
I was going to say something kind of crap. I'm always like, I have to use the bathroom. I don't know how much you can see, but it goes
right down through there, yeah.
Yeah, that's right up where the trees are. Is the here, more or less.
You're saying this is the towpath?
This is the towpath.
All right. And right over there's the canal. Yeah.
Some better glimpses up here.
Yeah, the guy across the creek had something like this too.
Yeah, so this was all cleared. Well, it was mostly cleared out. Like the trees were gone
right.
when we bought the property. They had cattle grazing up here and stuff. But,
oh yeah, there's a lot of water in there though.
yeah, right now it's not too bad. It's definitely a nice little wetland in there, so lots of turtles. And frogs. And the only time I've ever seen fish in it was after late. But I think the snappers ate those pretty fast.
It's not as distinct anymore.
Right, this will dry up in here. It doesn't have anything feeding it directly other than this runoff.
worked out really well. Yeah, she had one of those like big four-wheeler type things. I forget what you call it, like a side-by-side or something. So we got the tour. So for a while there, we were actually driving on the Towpath trail. I think what she has is called a Mule. So it was kind of interesting. It's not. It's you know, it's the modern day Mule, but you know, if you get the irony of it there, I think that they call that side by side a mule. But the Towpath trail was used by mules, you know, the old-fashioned mules. So yeah, I just decided. She said I could walk along it a little bit too if I wanted to, but I think I'll just use the footage that we got from riding along it. That works. We got to see parts of the canal and ride along the Towpath trail. So that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna head up to the next property. We were actually just down at the edge of the next property, but I told the guy he would stop in, so that's where we're gonna head next. Anyway, that's cool. It's a large property. It's fun talking with her. So anyway, let's get going. All right, so down to the canal we go. Yeah, talked for a while with the property owner. Turns out he knows a lot of people that I know, which is kind of cool. It's interesting how everything is kind of connected. So no side-by-side for this property, but that is fine. You turn off the electric fence for me too. Alright. Ooh, the raspberries are soon ready. Not just yet though. Alright, farewell cow pasture. Did cut across a little bit of the pasture. And the canal should be just down here. Of course, where we left off at the other property, the canal had kind of disappeared a bit. But right down here it is again. Kind of overgrown, but the Towpath trail's on the other side. That's where we'll try to get down there. So we are in the canal right here now. I know it's hard to tell, but it's all overgrown, but and right up here is the Towpath. So we'll get up on here. Yeah, and just, oh yeah, right down there is the creek. But just back that way is where we ended with the last property, a little bit over there. So yeah, but here's the Towpath. Not so bad up here, actually. Yeah, and this section doesn't have any water in it. Like the other property, there were some sections where we could see a lot of water growing in, or not growing in, but setting in it. Just to give you a view too, like I said, once again, here's the canal, but the creek itself is quite a ways down there. You know, so the canal wasn't always on the same level with the creek. But remember, in this case, the Satara Creek is what supplied the water supply for this. Because there are quite a number of locks in this area. Right up ahead of us is lock 22, which I'll talk about in a moment. But in the next video I do, we're going to do 23 and 24, which I do have permission for. Yeah, so I did talk with this property owner about the next property. He's the one that gave me their phone number previously, but I never heard from them. But I do have an office in Lebanon. Because I think oh, there's a cat. That was like a fox. Anyway, they have an office in Lebanon, which I think I might stop in and try and get permission. There are people that like history, the other neighbors, so I should be able to get permission. They're just really busy people, so there's still hope for lock 22. We'll see. But a big thanks to the two property owners in this video. Like I was telling both of them, it is very difficult to get permission. A lot of times, I'm lucky if I get like 50% reply from the letters I sent out. So I appreciate the permissions that I get. Yeah. It's interesting, you know, the canal is a vibrant green. The Towpath not so much, but at least it's open and clear. So I do see a watery section up here, but the property owner mentioned that whoever lived here earlier, I think it's what he said, they made a pond down here. I can hear the frogs. Alright, cool. Yeah, up here. Yeah, you can see it's much more wet in there. If you can hear them. Sounds like there's some bullfrogs down there. Okay, I'm hearing some other kind of bird. Now it's quiet. Something was screaming at me. Yeah, this is the pond. Let's see if that bird screams at me again. Oh yeah, there it is. Maybe a nest of some kind here? Huh. Oh, thorns are coming back. You know, the property owner also mentioned that there's an older fella living in the area that remembers back in the day when their whole canal was still filled with water. They used to ice skate here in the wintertime, because he said they would put lanterns up in the trees in the evening and ice skate through here. It's kind of interesting that things have changed quite a bit since then. Alright, so I'm back in cow pasture, but the canal continues on down that way, and Lock 22 is just up that way somewhere. Just on the edge of their property, but like I said, we'll see what happens with that. My last ditch effort will be to maybe stop in at their offices, see if I can get in touch with them personally about getting out there. Alright, that's for another time. Alright, I gotta make my way back up to the farm. But yeah, I think that'll be it for this video then. Probably a little bit of a shorter one. I know we got a nice little ride on the first property and just a small section walking through here. So we've got a little best of both worlds. A little bit of ride on a side-by-side and a little bit of a walk-in this morning. But once again, thanks to property owners. Like, I'll take what I can get these days. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get permission from folks. People are busy and things like that. All right. As always, folks, thanks for coming along, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one, maybe at Lock 22. But I know we do have, like I said, we do have permission for Locks 23 and 24, which you'll see coming up soon.